So when you determine if a line is positive or negative, you look at the direction of the line. So if the line is going more or less from the third quadrant direction to the first quadrant direction, then the slope of that line is going to be positive. However, the one thing that gets people confused sometimes is that sometimes positive lines don't actually go into the third quadrant, or they might not be in the first quadrant either. So for example, if we look up here at this green line is going in the direction of the third quadrant to the first quadrant, but it's not actually in the third quadrant. And that's okay. That line is still going to be a positive line. Same down here, if we look at the orange line, it's going in the direction of the third quadrant to the first quadrant, but it's not actually going in the third quadrant or the first quadrant, and that's fine too. Those are still positive lines. And then for a line to have a negative slope, it would go in the direction of the second quadrant to the fourth quadrant. But again, that doesn't actually mean that it has to go in the second quadrant or the fourth quadrant. For example, if we look up here at the purple line, this one is going in that direction, but it's only in the second and the first quadrant. But that's okay, it's still a negative slope. And same thing, this one up here, it's only in the second quadrant. But if the line continued, it would go into the fourth quadrant. But regardless, it's going in the direction of the second quadrant to the fourth quadrant, so the slope has a negative, so the slope is negative.